This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, thank you. I just missed that today. I was in a hurry. Okay, so this is just a graphical representation. Okay, so this thing will come again and again. So you should know, like at the end of this session, as IMPS session, that these all are the different phases in project initiation, project planning, project execution, and closing. Okay, so this is one of the question interview will ask, what all are the different phases of a project and what we do in each phases. And there are two answers for this question. First, we have to explain that these all are the process, like project initiation, planning, execution, and closing. And first, we have to explain that theoretically what we will do in each phases. And then we have to tell interviewer with respect to the SAP that what all are the different transaction in different phases we do into the SAP system. So master data we have already have gone through on the overall high level that in PS actually have a different master data. PS has a project structure. So each project structure contains your project definition, your WBS element, and then network structure and other elements. So here first we are discussing about the work breakdown structure. Okay, so you can say mostly this is the basic need for any project. So wherever you are creating a project, you always use the WBS element. So WBS element can be one or it can be multiple. So based on your requirement, like what level of detailing you want and how you are dividing your project into a multiple work packages. Sometimes WBS known as a work packages, as name suggests, work breakdown structure. Okay, so you can take a reference of the IM budget hierarchy. So IM budget hierarchy we use to divide the budget into a different head as per the traceability or the requirement. But WBS also have the same kind of hierarchy, but here what we are doing, we are dividing the main work. Okay, we are dividing a main work into a different heads, and that heads again can divide it to a multiple subheads. So that hierarchy can goes on as per the level of detailing a customer want or you want. Okay, so WBS, why we use the WBS? WBS use to organize like any project into a hierarchy, and that hierarchy can be based on your task, how you define your tasks, or how you divided your work. Okay, so here we need to understand that it is a functional basis for further planning. So all whatever we do, mostly all the basic planning, you're like there are certain planning. So we start it from the WBS element. So we do the cost planning on the WBS element. We do the revenue planning, scheduling, capacity planning, or costing, as well as the project control. Project control means here like we can control our dates. So we control something based on dates, our procurement or our cost control or the budget control. So on the reporting perspective, WBS is a hierarchical structure. Hierarchical structure means we are creating a structure in a tree structure format where we have one root element, or you can say the project definition is a root. So under that, we can create a multiple WBS element and the hierarchy goes on. So we create it in a hierarchy format. We create WBS elements based on the requirement, like at what level we wanted to manage our project. So we can go into that detail, or it can be or might be in the deliverable basis, or sometimes in your capex project, like if we need to capture cost from different heads, or management have a requirement to capture and tracking a record on a different head, let's say. So we'll take an example here. Like example here is like your, again it's the same example. Example is your installation of 66 kV substation. So what all are the activities we can have, how we can subdivide these tasks. So it is it is an installation of 6611 kV substation. So we are saying that we will create a project. So project consists one project definition. So we have one project definition in our project, and then we have a hierarchy of WBS element. So here you can see that level 1 WBS is linked to your project definition, and again all the sub WBS linked to your level 1 WBS element. So how we divided it? We have divided it like we created a one root WBS element. Okay, here you can relate it with the same as IM structure. Okay, so for example, project definition you can refer as a investment program. So we have created one investment program, and then we have created one level 1, or you can say the root investment position into the IM. Same thing goes here, and then we created a sub position. Same thing we are doing here for a single project. So now we can say for installation of this substation, we have divided into a different head, like your design and engineering, procurement of materials, erection, and the civil. These things can be divided further as per the requirement, like if the management wants in a detail level, or might be it is a very big project and the number of engineers or managers, we have multiple managers or engineers for this project. So we can say, okay, we will create a WBS by their responsibility or their responsibility area. Project also have follow the naming convention. So this is again aligned with the coding marks. So whatever the coding marks we will use, so we can create the project number using that format. These are something definition, or you can say some standard good practices which we should use while creating a WBS structure. Like it should have some properties, like it should be defined. Okay, so whenever we are creating any WBS, it should be a well-defined way. So it should be understood by project participants or the other stakeholders, like for example, from the finance person or from the purchasing authority person, or it should be understandable by the management as well. Okay, easily estimated. So we can create a WBS where we can just do the estimation in an easy way, like what should be the duration for this, what should be the cost, what all are the required resources, like that. It should be manageable. Manageable generally refers to as a defining the responsibility. So it defines responsibility, like who will do what. Okay, so in big projects you have seen that there are multiple project managers or multiple planners or multiple engineers involved. So sometimes it refers to as a responsibility. So we define the individual person and will consider as their manager, you can say. It should be measurable. Measurable means we define certain dates, so we can attach some milestone as well, so we can track it, what is our progress. And it should be flexible. Flexible means if we have some changes in future while executing our project, let's say we need to extend our hierarchy, so we can extend our hierarchy. We can make some changes, we can change the date, we can extend the timeline. If we want, we can change the cost estimate as well if is there any changes. So that is considered as a flexibility. So this is some kind of approaches, you can say. So this is one of the example of approaches how you can create a WBS structure. Let's say process oriented work breakdown structure. So process oriented work breakdown structure is like you are constructing a project and you are following your process. So what is the process? First you do the planning and you do the construction. But in the same way, we have the construction project, but now we are doing it a deliverable. Let's say there is a one real estate company, and that company is constructing a multi-story building for flat sale. So what they will do, they will create one WBS as a planning, and then sale, and under sale they can create each WBS for their flats. So most of the companies do this practice. So we have to identify as per the customer requirement how we can create a WBS hierarchy. So it can be a process oriented and it can be a deliverable oriented. So it depends customer to customers how they are doing it. Some customers follows project management methodologies, so they follows this practice process oriented, like they do the planning or pre-planning, and if it's some complex projects, so they do the pre-feasibility study, then feasibility study. Like that they create their own structure. This is again a graphical representation with WBS structure, how a project structure looks like. So here we can see we have one hierarchy here, which is like linked to one project definition. So you can say everything, like whether it is a project work breakdown structure or your networks or anything related to the project, it comes under the project definition. So project definition provides a layout, or you can say the outline for our project. So it consists some information, some default information, some controlling parameters. So it contains a lot of information that we will see in detail. But again, you can refer project definition here as the IM investment program, which we have created into the investment management module. And again, that WBS is indirectly you can consider as a position which we have created into the IM. The purpose and usage is different, but somehow the hierarchy and project definition we can relate in that way. Then again, these are all the WBS functions. This we have discussed in previous session, but we will discuss it again, like each and everything when we do all this information. Again, the same thing. Why WBS used for? WBS is for planning. We can do the date planning. We can do the cost planning. We can do the revenue planning, payment structure. We can do the budgeting on WBS. We can do the execution. Execution means your actual data. So what is your actual data? Your actual date, your actual cost, your actual revenue, or actual payments if it is a customer project. It used as a controlling object for your account assignment for purchase order or assignment for orders. Orders here is your maintenance order for PM, and internal order for CO. So what is the account assignment and how it works? What is the significance, that we will discuss in future sessions, like how the cost flows from one object to another object. This is again the same example, but this time the hierarchy went till the 4 level. So we have level 1, level 2, level 3, and level 4. Okay, so we have level 1, level 2, level 3, and level 4. So just a representation, how can we create our WBS hierarchies. So these are some basic data. So before explaining this, I will take you into the SAP system. First, we will see how we will create a simple project. Okay. So first we will just see how to initiate a project creation. Then we will take a business case. We will create that business case. Then we will understand each and every functionalities. But before that, first understand what is the transaction we will going to use and how it will work. So let me just create a new slide here. Oops, sorry. I'm opening the SAP system.
Sir,
Yes, Akshay.
hello. Is there any limitations of the level?
No, we will discuss that.
Okay, thank you.
So for creating a project, we have to open the project system folder. Okay. So in my first session, I have explained that what SAP did, SAP created this folder structure. So this folder structure is actually created in a logical way. Okay. Logical way means how generally a business run. So based on that, this folder structure is created. So you can see here on a high level, we have the logistic, we have the accounting, we have the human resource, we have insurance and information system. So mostly you can say for running any business, most of the things comes under the logistics, either in logistic or either in accounting. Okay. So for say, if we say we have the asset accounting, we have the financial accounting, we have account receivables, accounts payable. So all these things comes under the accounting. And in the same way, we have the logistic folder. So under logistic, we have the materials management, purchasing, sales and distribution, plant maintenance, production planning, like that. But the PS lies. So any guess, PS should lies in which folder, logistics or accounting? So any guess, what is your thought that PS should comes under the accounting or PS should come under the logistics?
Accounting, because it is to deal with cost, budget, and all those things. Means when you are
Okay,
doing a project.
yes, okay, thank you, Anand. Anyone else have any guess in which folder it should come and why?
Should be in accounting because
Okay,
it control with the controlling part mostly.
okay, thank you, Maheshwar. So actually, you both give a correct answer, but the thing is, PS comes in both the folders. So PS is the only module which comes under the both folder, accounting and logistic. Okay, so I have expanded both the folders, and you can see here PS and PS. Okay, if you expand any of this folder, the functionality will remain same, but it comes under the both the area, logistic and accounting. And the reason behind is PS works in both ways. Okay, PS has the accounting functionality only for the project. Okay, so PS provide the project accounting. So that's the core reason it comes under the accounting. But apart from that, it has everything which is like mostly logistics related, like you the planning, and you can initiate the production as well for there are one of the type of project. You do the purchasing for project. So because of all that reason, it comes under the logistic as well. So for PS, either you can expand the logistic folder or you can expand the accounting folder. Other thing is same, like they are entire inside hierarchical project system is same, but you can go by any way, either by logistic or the projects or the accounting. But let's say for the other example, the financial accounting. Financial accounting is only under the accounting folder. It's not in the logistic folder. Okay, so I'll close this logistic folder and I will expand the project system folder. If I'll expand the project system folder, you can see a lot of other folders here. Okay, so again, it is subdivided based on their different features, or you can what all are the different features of project system. So we will cover most of the things. We will see how these things work. So you can see the first we have this basic data, we have the project. So we'll expand the project. In project, we have one transaction code which is known as CJ20N. So you can say your half of the work as a PS consultant or as a PS user, like you're creating any project, maintaining dates, scheduling a project, maintaining an entire project master data. Most of these things done into the project builder. Okay, in the planning phase, like except your cost planning and the budget planning, but everything related with your master data and the structure is done into a single transaction, CJ20N, which is known as your project builder. So first we will understand this transaction. So we'll take a look how this transaction will look like. So when you first time open this transaction, okay, because I have already opened it. So what I'm going to do, I'll double click on it. So what it is doing, it's directly opening this window. But once you do it for your user ID, okay, so whenever you are opening or executing this transaction first time, it will give you an pop-up. Okay, it will give you a pop-up and it will ask for some default setting. So I will show you what is that pop-up. That pop-up is something look like this. Okay, so here are some information. You can see there are multiple information. So it is asking like what kind of object you wanted to process into this transaction. Okay, how do you wanted to open the project? How do you want it, what should be the editing mode, whether it should open into the change mode or whether it should open into a display mode, what should be the hierarchy level it should expand, whether you should preview last project, whether it should display deleted object, like that. And most importantly, you can see the number of projects. Okay, so how many recent projects you can see from the work list. Okay, so this is something. So what you need to do when you open it first time, make sure in editing mode is changed. Okay, hierarchy level maintain it's a 99, and number of projects keep it 20. So in S/4HANA, its maximum number of project is 20. So this is some kind of default setting, you can say. Now, if we talk about the labels.
Just a minute, 1 minute.
Yes.
Is it okay to put in edit mode or change mode, the initial one? Because if we open in CJ20 and every time if it is edit mode, there is a chance of doing mistake, no? So is it not good to put in edit display mode initially?
See, it's your personal preference, okay?
Okay.
Mostly, yeah, it's not any obligation here. So it's a personal preference whether you wanted to open project every time in change mode or display mode.
Okay.
For me, actually, I feel like from my point of view, it's irritating if it is in display mode, because first I will open a project, then I will click on edit mode. So it's like personal choice. Okay, so the system giving you functionality. How do you wanted to do it? Okay, so you have two mode here, change mode or display mode. So if you find with display, you can click on display. So what will happen whenever you create open a project? First you open it. Yeah. So what will happen? It will open in display mode. Then you will go and like made it in a change mode. So you have to, let's say for just editing, you have to click on twice, like on two different places, you can say.
Yeah, because sometimes we just want to see some data. At that time, unnecessary we move our cursor here and change some data. No, it will get
that's
the problem,
fine.
right?
But without clicking on the save button, data will not get saved, right? So if you don't want to save it, don't press.
Yeah, got it.
Okay. Yeah. So if you talk about the labels, okay, so SAP says, one of the definitions says you can create n number of labels. Okay, so SAP says you can create n number of labels into the WBS hierarchy, but the recommended number of labels is 99. Okay, so up to the 99 you can go. Otherwise, what will happen? It will have some efficiency issues, but you will not find anywhere more than 6 or 7 labels. So 6 or 7 labels generally considered as a best optimized labels, you can say. So I have not seen any project with more than maximum 10 labels, you can say.
Can we change it later also? Sometimes now we put 10 levels.
Yes,
Later
so you
I
can
need to put 20 levels.
here it is not for that purpose, it is for some different purpose. It is for like how many levels you wanted to see in a single whenever you open a project. So what happened, system will show you a hierarchy. So at what level you wanted to see that hierarchy, so whether it should be till 99, it will expand each and everything. I will show you like how it will work. Okay, let me show you. I will make it as a 1 right now and I will save it. Okay, and now for your next question, if you wanted to change it again in future, yes, you can change it. You have to go into the settings, and under settings we have that options. If you click on the option, it will again open that pop-up, so you can change the functionality if you want. Okay, so what I did, I have just clicked on hierarchy level 1. So first I will show you some basic features of this transaction. So there are a lot of fields functionality available for this transaction. So let me tell you what all are the different sections. Here you can see the previous project. Okay, these are the list of previous project which you have opened or you have processed. So let's say if you come to this transaction and you opened something or you have changed something, so it will show you the recent list. Okay. And here you can see up to the 20 projects in S/4HANA. Okay, in ECC you can see up to 5. So beyond the 5 you cannot see here, and there is no custom options available. Like even if you want, using some enhancement, you cannot do it. So it's a standard feature. So in ECC, there is a 5 recent project you can see here, and in S/4HANA you can see up to the 20. Then here there is a star button you can see. So this is something like the bookmark or your favorite project. So in SAP, you will have a favorite projects or the bookmarks you can say. So you can make a list of your favorite projects. So mostly users who works in this transaction regularly and they have some projects going on each and every day. So they makes as a or mark as a favorite. So that project will be visible here. We can have different objects here into that project. You can see I have not marked anything, so that's the reason there is nothing for me. But there are 3 kind of object which you can mark as a favorite: your project definition, your WBS element, and networks. So whatever you will mark as a favorite, it will appear here. Apart from that, we have one open folder icon here. So that open folder icon means it is used for open any project. Let's say if you wanted to open some project, you have the number, but that project number is not appearing in your recent list. So you have to click on this folder and you have to provide the project number and you can open it. For creating any project, we will use this icon, that create icon. And apart from that, we will have some other basic standard features like the toolbars and other thing. So what I will do first I will open a project. Let's say, okay, 11. I will open that 11 project. And you can see now we have a again different area. So this pane from the left side, this area will show you the tree structure of project. So whatever the object we have into our project. Okay, so we have all the WBS element, we have networks, we have the activities, everything you will see here in a tree format. Once you click on any of the object, this is the detailing screen. So this screen will show the detail. So whatever the detail of that particular object which you have selected from the left. So if you click any of the object, the detail appear on the right side. Again, depend on that object, you will have a different section. For example, this is project definition. So here we have the name and number, and we have a different tabs. So it depends on the which type of object you have selected. So if it is a WBS, it is different. If it is a network, then it is different. Now you have seen, apart from this, we have some other options as well. So that we will see, like when we do the other functionality, we will take each and everything. Like if it open into the display mode, then we can change it using this icon. So right now it is already in change mode, but now we wanted to toggle it, or we wanted to make it is in a display mode. So we can click on this icon, and what system will do? System will make it in a display mode. Let us try it. So what I will do, I will click on this display change. So if I'll click on this, you can see the screen will get changed to a display mode. Everything is now disable mode. But if you open this project in display mode, you have to click it again here to make it in a change mode. Now on the left side, you can see there is one button here, like which is like expandable icon. So if I'll click on it, what system will do? It will expand my project structure. Okay, so we'll try that. I will click on this icon, which is next to my project definition, expandable icon. If I'll click on it, we have one WBS element and we can see it here. The reason behind it that system is not expanded this project is our previous setting, where we maintain the level equals to 1. So if we maintain 99 or level 2, so system will expand till that level. That is the usage of that settings. So we'll try it again. I will click on back icon. And
one small question. Yeah, you have maintained.
Yeah, please tell me.
Yeah, you maintain project definition and project structure, both are maintained same code. So,
Yes,
so can't we make like project definition as A, project definition, project structure as A dash all triple zeros, double one, something like that?
we
So it
can
will,
do,
will it, will,
but
okay.
it is an ideal practice that project definition and your root level WBS element or the remaining WBS element should follow the same naming convention. It is an ideal practice, and you should always recommend this. Never use two different names for two different objects in a single project.
Okay, suppose a project, suppose A is a project definition used for 66 kV substation,
Mhm,
and project definition, the other project definition B, 132 kV substation, suppose like that. And under the
mhm,
WBS will be WBS element for 66 kV A dash triple zero wall ones, and for 66
mhm.
132 kV B dash WBS will be B dash triple zero
Triple
double
zero
one,
one.
something like that.
Mhm.
Is it not okay like that? For my understanding.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. The thing is, for every project, you should follow a common naming convention. Okay. We will tell you the example once we will do all these exercise. Don't
Yes.
worry.
Yeah.
So now what I did, I have changed to the 99. Now I will open that project again, and now you can see here it's already expanded. Okay. So this is how you open a project into the system. Now what we will do, first we will take an example. We will create a project, a simple project we will create. Okay, we will take a simple business case. So first we will create that structure, then we will go into the deep dive and we will try to understand what all are the other things available and how it works. So what we will do, we'll take one example of this. Okay, so we will repetitively use a multiple example. Let's say we need to create a house, or you can say the construction of a house, which is like a very easy and understandable example. So it will give you an idea to like how a WBS hierarchy should be created and how it works. So we all aware about because these things and this terminology. So we know that construction of a house is like also a example of a project, because at the end we have the house. House is like a asset, we can say, so which needs to be capitalized. So here you can see how we divided this structure. We created one construction of house. So that construction of house is your project definition first. Okay, and then we have again created as a WBS element, and that is again divided into a hierarchy. So what all are the hierarchies? It is divided in your internal, foundation, and external work. What is internal? Internal is electricity and plumbing. Here we do the segregation as well based on budget and what is the work percentage. Electricity is divided like your rough-in electrical, install and termite, and HVAC equipment. Plumbing we kept it as a single work packages. We did not divide it further. Same thing for the foundation. Foundation is divided in excavation, steel erection, excavation, and again steel erection is like your column, beams, and joist. And that external is like your masonry work and building finishes. So this is one of the examples. You can create again a number of activities under each of the WBS. Okay, or like if you further wanted to have more detailing, so based on that you can create multiple work packages or WBS elements. So why we take this example? Because this is a very general example. It will give you a clear idea like what we are going to do. So first we will just do one exercise into the system. We are not going into the detail like what all are the technical things. First we do and then we will understand. So our first target is to create a hierarchy which look like this. So what I will do, I will create a hierarchy till level 3. Till level 3 means here, till level here. So I will create a project construction of a house, then I will create their WBS element, then I will create their further WBS element. The naming convention we follow, we will take any standard naming convention. Like example, we have already P-0001. So we will use that coding mask, and using that coding mask, we will create a project. First, I will show you like how we will create this hierarchy into the system. Then I will explain what all are the other parameters we will use and what all are the different functionalities we will available for the WBS into the CJ20N. Now our motive is clear. We need to create a hierarchy, construction of a house till work packages level 3, till electricity plumbing level. We will create one structure into the system. I will open the CJ20N again. For creating a project, what I will do, I will click on that create icon, and then we can see here there are two options, project and network, and then copy project and copy network. Okay. So for creating any project, there are multiple ways that we will discuss again, like in detail, like what all are the different options available. First, we will understand in the same way like we did the AR, we created it a manual way, manual approach. So for creating project manually, we have to click on the project. So we click on the project. Once I click on the project, system will ask me certain mandatory information. So what is the mandatory information here? First thing is a project definition. Project definition number. Okay, so we will see what all are the mandatory fields. So what I will do, first I will provide the project definition, and then we will press enter, then we will see what system will ask next. So providing project definition number here is like it has the same concept of the coding mask. If in our configuration we have make is a mandatory that we should follow our coding mask, then we can create a project with coding mask only. We cannot put anything else. So let's say we use one coding mask which is like P0001, 4 times 01. Okay, it's like it's P0001. So we use what we did into the AR. We will do the same thing here. We will provide the start value P0001. We press Control F, or we can click on this find icon as well. So what system will do? System will propose a number. Then we will collect and continue. Now you see it put as P0001 into the project definition. Now what we will do? We will press enter. As soon as I press enter, system will give me an error message. As per the footer, we can see fill out all the required entry field. So we have seen that system is asking for one mandatory field, and what is that mandatory field is project profile. Project profile is the backbone of PS or any project, you can say. Okay, so without project profile there is no project. So you can consider it as a backbone of entire PS module or backbone of any PS project. Everything, not everything, but you can say most of the things is linked with your project profile. So your default configuration, your default project behavior, your default settings, all these things comes under your project profile. The project profile is like one of the biggest configuration in PS module, which consists everything mostly, like how your project will control in the cost, what should be your budget scenario, what should be your default indicators, what should be your default project type, how you can create your project hierarchy. So everything is linked with your project profile. So that we will discuss in detail when we do the configuration part. But first, just understand, whenever we are creating a project, while creating a project definition, we have to select a project profile. So we will select our project profile here. I have created one project profile. Let's see where it is. Where is that? Okay, 9001. Can you able to see anything end with my one? Z901, this one. So I have selected this profile Z9001. Now you will see one thing, you will notice one thing. Right now, all these fields is blank. The highlighted, I have just make a rectangle. So you can see all these fields is blank. So what I did, I have selected the project profile, and as soon as I press enter, most of the fields will get populated based on the project profile settings. I will press enter. Now you have seen the screen will get changed, and controlling area, company code, and business area, this information filled automatically. Now let me navigate you to again to the control tab. Let's check it again, that control tab. Here you can see this information is automatically picked from the project profile. So earlier it was blank for each and every field. Now you can see some of the fields have the value. So this values flows from the project profile. That we will understand later how we will do it and how it's transferring to everything. First, our focus is to create a hierarchy. So we need to focus on the how we can create a hierarchy and how we are creating a project. So what I did, first I created a project definition. So as soon as I create on the project icon like create project, system will ask me to provide the project definition number, and then see you can see here I did not provide any description. So what system did? System by default put a project definition and the project coding mask as a description. Here I can rename it, let's say construction of house. So this is the first thing I did. The features of CJ20N or this screen project builder, you can say the same task, like there are multiple tasks which you can do using a different way. Okay, now what we will do, we will see this example again. We have this construction of house. This is a whole project, and under that whole project we have the construction of a house as a WBS element as well. So we'll create a WBS element. How we will create a WBS element? We will open that screen again, CJ20N, and construction of house. We will right click on the construction of house from the left side. So if we click on any object, right click, it will show you the other functionalities as well. What all are the other options we have? Here we can see we have the create, include, and hierarchy. There are a lot of options. We will see the create button. So if we click on the create, we can see it here. On project definition, we can create two things, either WBS element or network. There are third option is also enabled, which is your copy network. But again, copy network will help you to create a network only. So we can create only two objects. Either we can create WBS element or we can create a network. So we need to create a WBS element.
Here one question. What is the difference between WBS and network here?
We will come to that point when we discuss the network. First, we will understand what is WBS structure and how to create it. We will cover all those things, and then we will understand what is the difference between WBS element and network and when we used to what. I click on WBS element. What system will do? You can see once I click on the WBS element, it will open the WBS screen in detail. And also it proposed the WBS element as a element number. Okay, so this what system is doing here, as per the coding mask, it determines that okay, you are creating a next level. So it determines that you are creating a next level, and it is proposing the number as well, that 01. But as what I recommended, whenever we are creating a top level WBS element or the root WBS element, we should follow the name project number name number as the project definition, so which is like P0001. So I'll give it is the same description again. Construction of house. Now you can see from the left side one WBS is added. One more thing you need to understand here, each object have a different icon. So if you focus here, this is the icon of project definition. Okay, and this is the icon of WBS element. In the same way, we have a different icon for network and network activity and activity element, milestone, like that. So what I will do next, I will create, now as per this picture, we need to create 1, 2, and 3 WBS on level 2, like, or we can say 3 WBS under the construction of house WBS element, which is like your internal, foundation, and external. I will repeat the process, but this time I will select the WBS instead of the project definition. So I will select the construction of house WBS. I will click the right click, then again WBS element. Now system will give me the number P0001. This time it is correct. So what I will do, I will say, I will give a description of internal work. I will press enter. As soon as I press enter, it will add into my hierarchy. Now I will again repeat this process. I will click on again construction of house, click on create, again WBS element, and then now it's time system is giving me 02. What is my this foundation? I will press enter, and the same thing again and again. So I'll do it quickly for, okay, the third thing is external. Now now we need to create 2 WBS element under the internal work. So what we will do, like again, so we have to select that WBS element under which we wanted to create further WBS element. So this time I will select the internal work and then repeat the process again, like create WBS element. Now you see what system did. System will propose the number like P000101. Okay, so system is taking the superior WBS element number as a reference and then proposing it. If you want, you can change it, but system will propose a number by their own. Now we are saying it as a electricity. I'll create till level 3 only. Then I will select again internal work. I will create WBS element and then plumbing. Same thing I will do for the other two. For foundation, we have excavation and steel erection. And external, we have a masonry work and building finishes. So I have just created a structure till level 3 WBS element. So why we are saying that WBS is a hierarchy? Okay, because there are a reason behind that. We created in a tree structure. Okay, network and activity also will display in the same format, but I will show you one thing here. There is one icon here which is, you can see on the top of below the project builder. Okay, I have highlighted here. So it is for WBS hierarchy. Okay, so if we click on this icon, okay, first what we will do, we will select our project definition. Like I click on the construction of house, or you can say the top level of element. Then I click on the hierarchy graphic. So I'll click on the hierarchy graphic. Now you can see it is giving a hierarchy picture as per our Excel sheet. Okay. So this is what we have created. It looks like as our Excel, right? So that's the reason, because WBS is used for dividing your work, and that should be in your, and it works as a hierarchical format. And in system also we can see it in a hierarchical format. So we can see we have one top level WBS element, this one, this has 3 lower level WBS element, and again this one has 2 WBS element, like that. So like that we have created a hierarchy. So creating a WBS hierarchy is very simple. We did not did much work. We just created first a project definition. Project definition is what? Project definition is your outline of a project, okay? Or you can say it's a project definition outline of your project. It consists all the default parameters, all the default configuration parameters for your project. And then under your project definition, we create our entire structure, whether it is your WBS, whether it is your network and other things. Now I'll click on the WBS element. And now if you look at the WBS element screen, you can see, okay, so this is a huge screen and it has a lot of information. It has responsibility area, it has operative indicators, it has project type, summarization, like that. There are so many fields, okay. Don't try to understand each and everything at this moment. It will be very difficult and it will make you confused if you go and check each and every fields, like what is their use, what is their use. Just try to understand basic thing first, like what a WBS consists, what a WBS element have. So understand those things first and then go into the detail once you know all the basic functionalities. So what a WBS element have? First, WBS element have one project type. Okay, so each WBS can assign to one project type and the priority. This information is for the information purpose only, like information or reporting purpose only. It will not, again, like as we have discussed in the same thing in IM session as well. So each object in SAP, also in PS, have two type of information or data, we can say. One is like your reporting or information data, and second is the controlling data. Controlling data means if you select that data or unselect that data, it will affect something, like it will affect some other transactions. But the reporting or information is like it's used only for the information. It gives you the information, but it will not impact any other transaction. So the best example here is project type and priority is your information data or the reporting data. But on the other hand, we have some indicators here. This operative indicator. These all are your controlling parameter, you can say. Just a minute. So we select any of this checkbox, okay, it will impact the other transaction. But changing a project type will not change anything. Like by default, like in a standard system, it will not change anything apart from the reporting until or unless you have linked something else with all this information. Apart from this, we have responsibility. Like in responsibility, we have two information field, like person responsibility number. So here we assigned the person responsible number. Let's say we can select project manager number or the engineer number. So we create a master data into the system. Or like if we have 10 project managers, so we can maintain the 10 project managers list here, like this. You can see from the pop-up we have the different persons, so we can select anyone. Applicant number is like who is requesting for, or who is requesting for this project, or who is requesting for this package, work package. I will select some values just for showing. In the same way, we have responsible cost center, requesting cost center, requesting company code. So these information you will understand once you start doing the other transaction, like why this is used for. Apart from that, we have dates, assignment, control, like there are a lot of other tabs. So as and whenever we will do other things and whatever is required, I will explain what all are the other parameters and where this is located and how we'll use it. Now let's back to the PPT again, then we will understand some other things. First, just tell me only for the creation of the project. If you have any confusion, like if you don't understand anything, how to create a project or how to create a WBS element, what all are the things, what is their mean, that we will discuss. But the thing is, if you didn't understand or if you need any further clarification, only for the project creation. Okay, one more thing, I did not save it. Okay, so if I not save it, it will not save the data, system will not save the data. So for saving the data, you have two options again in CJ20N. Either you can click on the save icon, or there is one more button here, which is like your intermediary save. It is your intermediary save. Intermediate save. Okay. Now, what is the difference between intermediate save and your save icon? The only difference is if you click on the save icon, it will save the data and close the project. But if you click on the intermediate save button, it will save the project, but it will not close the project. Your project will remain open. So it's something like if you are doing a big or big changes. So in meanwhile, you can just keep click on the intermediate save. So what system will do? It will keep saving the data, and you system will not close this window. We will just do a practical, then you will have a better idea. What I will do first, I will click on the save button. Okay, so as soon as I click on save button, system will save the data and it went back, like it will close the project. So we will be on the initial screen. Now let me open that project again. I will open that project again and this time I will click on the intermediate save button. So what system will do? System will not close this project. So if I'll click on the intermediate save, it will save the data, but it will not close the project. It will remain open. So if you want, you can do further changes. Now come to the second thing. Right now I have explained only how to create a object. Object is like your WBS element or anything. So either you can right click on the object and then click create like this. So there are multiple ways in system. Also, you can see we have the object below the screen. So you can create it from here as well. So if you select something and drag and drop on any of the WBS element, system will create that element. Apart from this, we have this overview functionality as well. So from here also we can create the WBS element. So there are multiple ways of creating the same thing. Like ways are different, but the data will be the same. Let's try one more thing here. This templates view. Okay, let's say I need to create a WBS element into the electricity WBS. So what I will do, I will select the WBS element from the template section and then I will drop it to the electricity. So if I'll drop it, it will do the same thing. Let's press enter. But it's picking but the only difference here is it's picking a different number. Okay, it's picking a temporary number. So you have to give that number manually. Only using this hierarchy way, system will generate the automated number. But if you using this way, template one, or let's say this overview one option, in that case you need to provide the number manually.
So the first
I'll
one
click
is better,
here.
right? Instead of template.
It depends, like, yeah, they are case to case. Okay, I'll tell you one more thing here, like there is one, not hack, but there is one system functionality. What will happen if it got hacked? So there is a third option, which is like overview. So in overview, we can, the benefit overview of, you can have the multiple WBS element in the same like this in a screen. So you can use the Excel as well. So it's, so this screen, so in this screen you can post the content from Excel as also. So let's say if you prepare Excel, so you can copy paste from there. So it depends, like if you are having a 3 WBS element, then definitely yes, first option is better. But if you have multiple WBS element, then we can also consider this option, third option, where you just prepare Excel sheet and just copy paste it from the Excel sheet. So what you need to do, you need to explore all these three options, how you can create a hierarchy. Okay, look at this third option, how we can do it. And then there is one configuration, you can say one hack, you must say one hack or one trick, by using which you can do it faster, that we will discuss when we discuss the coding mask. I will show you how it will work. So we have just seen how to create a project definition and how to create a WBS element. We did not did anything, we did not provide any additional data. Okay, so we just provided the number and the description. So we just created an outline on the high level. We did not provide any dates, we did not give any controlling thing. So what we did, we just did only the structure. We just created a structure. So we have just a basic concept clear, that how system will create a hierarchy. Now on this hierarchy, what we can do, what all are the further options we have, that we will discuss in detail. But first we have did only the structure. So just let me know if you have any confusion or anything, any question into this creation part. So creation part is okay. So you got like you understood like how to create a project, how to create a WBS element, only the creation, like how to give their name and description. That's it.
Clear, yeah, clear.
Uh,
I am clear here.
yeah, it's clear, but just one thing I need to ask. So,
Yes.
do we have any control in that naming thing? Because see, if I have created a project, but I
Mhm.
want someone who should not do any changes of the name. So, as I can see, after using CG20, and there is still an thing called I don't want another user to change anything apart from what I did changes. So, are there any controls or anything settings
See,
like
in
that
SAP,
that other user?
we do no, in SAP we don't have control. We have a control based on the authorization. Okay. So there is one thing
Okay.
is authorization.
Mm-hmm.
So authorization is like when we create any SAP user into the system. Okay. So it mapped with some roles. So that roles have the authorization. So based on that, we can control some of the things. Okay.
Okay.
But we
Okay.
cannot
So,
say, so it's, we cannot say that this user cannot change the description, and we cannot control on the level of fields. Okay. Either he can change it or he cannot change it, like that.
okay.
There is
Okay.
one more thing as well. So this security functionality is applicable for every module into the SAP or every transaction of the SAP. Okay. So depend on the rows and object available, whatever the SAP provided, based on that we can control what a user can do or what a user cannot do. Okay. That we will discuss at the end of the session, how these roles and everything work, authorization. But apart from
And
that, there is one more functionality, which is access control list, which applicable for the project, that we will discuss during the project profile configuration. Okay.
one question here, one more. Is there a transaction to
Mhm.
create WBS element and any transaction for project definition? The transaction code is there, or we need to go through CD20 and only?
Okay, good question. So here we can see Okay, special maintenance function, structure planning, this. Okay,
Okay, it's there.
but there is a trick. Okay, not trick, there is a SAP recommend that you should use only the CJ20N, majorly in the S4 HANA. Okay, so if you are
Yeah.
working on any project, you never suggest to use any of this transaction because SAP has planned to reduce all this transaction in future. So everything will be done using only CJ20N.
Yeah, CJ20N is better than this transaction because all will come in one
Yeah.
place.
So
So
this transaction will provide the individual functionalities. For example, if you wanted to create only the project definition, then you can use CJ06,
authorization
7, and 8.
and it helps
And
for the
if you
authorization.
wanted to now,
Authorization.
not we can say the same thing. Say authorization will applicable in CJ20 as well. Okay, so if you don't wanted to give any user to create WBS element, you cannot like by using authorization we can achieve that.
But
Okay.
CJ, if we don't give authorization for CJ0 and he cannot create WBS, right? Even through
No, see,
CJ20N.
we are not giving any of this transaction. We will give this transaction only. Okay, the same transaction
Okay.
for multiple user. Again, we can
Oh,
control like which user can do what transaction. Okay, we can
oh,
maintain like whether user can create a project. We can maintain whether he or she can change the project, whether they can create any WBS element, that we can control based on the authorization.
okay.
Okay, so these all are the below one is nothing. These are the duplicacy for CJ20 and okay. So that's in S4 HANA in all the version SAP suggests that you should not use any of this transaction. Also, you should not recommend customer to use any of these transaction. You should always use the CJ20N because they might have a program to bring a FIORI application equal to this CJ20N.
Okay.
Okay, so we have that, but we will not going to use any of these transaction.
Okay.
If you want, you can read the SAP simplification list. There it is clearly mentioned that you should not use this individual transaction.
Okay. Good.
Okay.
How can we add the favorite project? How to do favorite?
Okay, favorite. Just a minute. Okay, so you wanted to do a favorite. Okay. Just click on the right click and you can see include in work list. Okay.
Okay.
So if I'll click on include in work list, I'll give the number. Let's say my number is P0001. Enter. Now that appear into my favorite list. In the same way, I can click on that project definition and again click on include in work list.
Okay.
So based on that, you can do. And also, if you open that project, okay, let's say I have opened that project again, P0001. Now, instead of full project, I just wanted to add this steel erection WBS element as a favorite. Okay, so what I will do, I'll select the steel erection and let's see if we can make it here from somewhere else. My objects from here. Okay. My object is different thing that is universal. So from here, you need to just drag and drop. Okay. So if you drag and drop, then also you can make it as a your favorite. Okay, so I just drop on a project, so it automatically adds under the WBS element. Okay, and also you can drop it on the individual object as well. Okay, that is already exist, no problem. So if you drag on the individual object, then again it will appear under the that WBS element and project like that. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So when you do the same thing again, okay, so you have to create the same hierarchy, or you can just create your own hierarchy as well for the. So you create the same thing into the transaction or into this transaction and explore the other functionalities. What we have, like just take a look like what we have here. Okay, what we have here, what all are the names, what we have here, what all are the tabs filled. Even if you don't understand, don't try to understand like what it is, what it works. Don't try to go into the deep. Just take a look what it is and what all are the information available. Just take what the information available. That's it. Just take a look. So it is easier to understand like in future session if we are looking for something, then you have an idea. Okay, it will be or it can be on this tab. Now let me explain you some other things. So now what we did, we have just created a WBS hierarchy. Okay, so till now we have seen that how to create a WBS hierarchy. We did not did anything. We did not provide any dates. We did not provide any controlling indicators. We did not provide any other responsibility areas like who will do what. We just created a package name. We provided it their ID. That's it. That's what we did. Now let's understand what are the basic data we have. So we have the WBS element that we have seen like how to create it. Why WBS element? WBS element we created if we need to divide our work into a hierarchy and if we wanted to do something based on the responsibility based. Okay, if we have some responsibility oriented organization. Now again, like because WBS also is like a work package. Okay, and again that work packages we have a lot of activities. Now we wanted to maintain a flow of activities. Okay, flow of activities means like let's say if we have a civil work packages, under the civil works packages we are saying that the foundation work. So foundation work is like consists of many small activities. For example, we are saying we are constructing a house on a farmland. So what we will do first, we will cut the grass. Okay, then we will do the excavation, or might be we will do the land filling. Then after excavation, we will do some heavy foundation work. Then we will do the column work. Then we will add some ground walls like that. So these all are the detailed activities, and these all are the flows activities where we can clearly mention that one activity will be done once the previous activity will finish, like that, where we have the relationship between each activities. That is considered as your network. So network generally represent the flow of work, how work is happening. Okay. WBS define the hierarchy of work. So there is a difference between these is the main difference. WBS define the hierarchy where we divided the work. On the other hand, network defines the or network shows the flow of the work, like how the work is happening. And how the assignment can happen. Assignment can happen to one to n. Okay, one to n relationship means each WBS element can have a n number of networks. Okay, it can happen. It can be one, or it can be n number of networks. This is just a graphical representation where blue is showing as a WBS and the green as a network.
Network will have all the activities, right?
Sorry?
So network will have the activities
Yes,
from the PM
tasks,
order, internal order,
activities.
yeah, PM order, procurement, like that.
Yes, same thing, like the same activities we created in a PM order, right? PM order, we have a different tasks. We created
Yes.
multiple tasks. The same thing is for the networks. Okay, so
So
network
each network
have the
box, okay, okay.
yeah,
Each
please
network
tell
box
me.
can be connected to the PM order, or how? All number of PM orders connected to the network. How it will be? If you
So
have a PM
relationship
order,
is if we have a PM order, okay, so PM order can be
Okay.
linked with your WBS element, okay, or there
Okay.
is one extended functionality where we can generate a PM order from the network activity.
So
Okay,
we
means
can
your
assign to
network
WBS
activity,
also to
you can,
network.
yeah, you can assign either WBS to a PM order or network activity to a PM order.
Okay. So which is the best one, preferred one?
Again, depend
Network.
like what is your purpose. Okay,
Okay.
we will do that case in detail. We have one plan in that at the end of the session. Okay,
Okay.
so what is our approach is here? First, we will understand how the PS functionalities work. Okay, so first, because there are other members as well who don't know like what is WBS and what is networks. First, our approach is like we need to understand what is WBS element, how to create it, what is network, how to create it. First thing, just basic. Then we will see what all are the different master data into the network, what all are the features of WBS. So our focus is throughout the session is we will understand the functionality in detail. Once we know everything, then we will take a business case, whether it is your maintenance, whether it is your sales customer project, like that we will see a different business case and we will do end-to-end cycles. Okay. Now there are different ways of creating a WBS. As I suggested, the functionality will remain same, but there are multiple ways which allow to create a same thing. So what is the direct method? This is direct method. We can create using a project builder. Same thing like CJ20 and is our project builder. We have one more transaction which is your project planning board. Okay, so project planning board has different transactions that we will discuss. So in that transaction also we can create WBS. We can structure planning. So this is the same thing. So in project planning board we have the structure planning where we can use the create WBS element. Structure planning is your not that structure planning is where we have seen in the hierarchical that in graphic format, right? So in that graphic format also we can create, and there are some other reporting transactions from there also we can create the WBS. Then there are some indirect method. What is the indirect method? If you create a network from there, you can do how you can do. It's known as the assembly processing. In system we have the simulation. So from simulation also you can generate the WBS element. So this is the indirect method. Process is like either you can create it manually or you can copy by the template. Okay, so manually means we have seen only the manually process today, how to create a manual WBS element or a manual project, but you can also create a project or WBS by copying from a template. Template means the existing project or existing standard WBS. Okay, so again template is divided into two ways. So either it can be standard WBS or it can be your operative WBS. So here what is the standard WBS? Standard WBS, you can say it is the non-operative project or the non-operative structure. What is the non-operative means? It means that it cannot have any actual cost. Okay, it has only a structure. Structure means only the description and coding and some of the other parameters, default parameters. So we can use that structure and then we can generate our project. Also we can create the existing operative WBS. Operative WBS means like with the project we have created right now. So we can use that project as a reference or as a template and we can generate the new project. So now let's understand the indicators of the WBS element. This is the important thing. There are three operative indicators for the WBS element. Okay, so as I explained that in system we can have two type of data. Okay, either it can be informative for reporting purpose, which use only for the information and reporting, or the controlling parameters, which controls the future transaction or the further transaction, or which will impact to the other transactions. So operative indicators on WBS element is one of the, you can say, the controlling parameter. Okay, so it controls some of the transaction. And also this question majorly asked into the interview, like interview will ask what all are the operative indicators. Okay, so there are 3 operative indicators. One is billing element, one is planning element, and the third one is account assignment element. Okay. What is the billing element and why we use it? Why it's used for? Billing element is used if we have revenue. Okay, if we wanted to post revenue on our WBS element, then this indicator should be selected. Okay, then we have this account assignment element. It means if we want to post actual cost. Okay, so you see, a structure can have a different uses. Let's say we created a structure where we want to incur actual cost at the last level of WBS element, or let's say if we are having a detailed hierarchy, so we want user, like we want user to not to post any actual cost on the level 2 or 3 WBS element. Okay, we want that user can only post the actual cost beyond the 4 level WBS element, or might be some selected WBS element. Okay, as per our planning, we are saying that remaining all the other WBS element is for planning purpose only, but for the cost occurring we can use one or some specific WBS element. So in that case, account assignment element should be selected. So if any of the WBS, this indicator is not selected, we cannot post actual cost. So this is one of the major checkbox. Then there is one more indicator is planning element. So why planning element is used for? Okay, so planning element is used for, like if we have a requirement where we can say that we can only plan cost, we can put the plan cost data only for certain WBS element. Okay, in that case we use the planning element. We can say it allows the planning for WBS. Okay, so if we configure our system in a way that only WBS element with planning element can have the plan cost, in that case we need to select this indicator, otherwise we don't need to select it. Apart from this, there are 2 indicators: statistical WBS element and grouping WBS element. Grouping WBS element is like if you wanted to group multiple WBS into one, or like 2 WBS into one for the reporting and the perspective. Generally, grouping WBS element is not used in the scenarios, but this statistical WBS element is used. What is the statistical element? Just for a definition, you can say you create a structure, project structure. Statistical WBS element generally used in the cost project. So it used like you are creating a project structure, you are doing the planning, you are having the budget control, but you do not want any actual cost on your project. You want actual project cost should be posted onto the cost center. Then in that case, you will select the statistical WBS element. Now we will look all these indicator into the system where all this indicator lies. I'll open CJ20 again. I will click any of the WBS element. Okay, because it's applicable for the WBS element. It means if I'll select any of the WBS element, we can see this value. Here we can see the operative indicator. All these 3 indicators are the operative indicator: planning, account assignment, and billing. So these 3 indicators will decide whether you can post actual cost in this WBS element, whether you can plan your cost at this WBS element, or whether if it is a revenue project, means if it is a customer project, whether you can post the actual revenue on this WBS element. This is the role of this indicator, and this is very important indicators. And most of the times interviewer will ask what all are the operative indicators. Apart from this, we have seen two more indicators, which is like grouping. Grouping we can see here. So grouping also on this screen. And then we have the statistical WBS element. That indicator is available on the control tab, statistical indicator. If I select the statistical indicator, let me select the statistical indicator. What system will do? I press enter. It will make this cost center field as a edit mode. Earlier it was in display mode, now it is in edit mode. Okay. So what it means? It means on this particular WBS element, I cannot post any actual cost. All this cost is statistical. Statistical means only for the reporting. Actual cost will be posted to the actual cost center. Don't go into the detail. If you are not understanding this concept, that's fine. Once you will see how the actual cost and everything is posted into the future session, then you will get to know what is statistical and what this is other means. So these are the operative indicators. Here, any doubt like in the operative indicators?
One thing I need to ask. So, which
Yes.
WBS will be billing and which WBS will go into planning? These all things will be provided by the customer, means the our customer for which we are
Again,
configuring the thing. Hello?
see, customer, we are not creating it behalf on the customer, right? This is what we have to, as a consultant, this is what you need to convey to the customer, that these are the functionalities. And if they are already having the hierarchies, right? If they already are
Hmm.
having the hierarchies, so they knows like which are the element where the cost should be posted. Okay, we can take our example, this example we are taking. Let's say I am a project manager. Okay, I am a project manager, and under me I have a several planning engineer or the engineer, execution operation engineer. So I have assigned each person to a different level. Let's say I have a one person who is looking after electricity, I have a one engineer who is looking after the foundation, and one person who is looking after the external works. But overall I am managing this project. Okay, now whenever they are doing the actual transaction, whenever they are posting the actual cost, okay, so what user can do, let's say this foundation engineer. Okay, so what foundation engineer can do, he can post the actual cost in at this level as well, this P000102. Okay, so what it will happen, it will not give me the right reporting. So as a project manager, what I will do, I will not select account assignment element for any of the WBS element. I will select only for the excavation or steel erection, means the last level WBS element. Okay, so this is my requirement. Okay, this is my requirement, and I am saying might be business or customer don't know. Okay, so you have to, as a consultant, you have to tell them this is the functionality. Okay, but this is the generally requirement came like this, because as a user is like when user do the actual transaction into the system. Okay, they have to fulfill their purpose. They don't bother about where the cost is flowing. When they comes to the posting the cost, they have only one thing in their mind, that it should be posted, that's it. Where it is going is nothing to do with them. But as a project manager, I need everything into the detail. What I will do, we can suggest them, okay, if you want in that way, what you can do, you can make this level 1 and level 2 WBS element as a without account assignment element. Let's say what we will do, we have selected this construction of house, right? So we can say, okay, don't select this one, internal work, don't select this one, foundation, don't select this one, and external, don't select this one. So what I did now, from the level 1 and level 2, I have unselect all this account assignment element. Now what will happen, this is what you need to think about it. Like once you know the functionality of system, then only you can understand the entire cycle from start to end. Now we know the customer pain, we know that user did this practice, so we can suggest them, okay, you can create a structure in a way like this, and this indicator should not be selected. So what will happen, if user want, then also they cannot post any actual cost onto this level. If you try to post anything, system will give you an error message. Now user have only one thing, either they will post, they can only post on the last level, either in the masonry work or all the building finishes or your excavation or steel erection. It means as a project manager, it will fulfill my purpose. Correct? Now user are not able to post on level 2, so definitely they have to select the level 3 WBS element. So my cost will go into the right head and it will give me a clear bifurcation and picture. So this is an example of account assignment element. But on the other hand, we are saying that we are having a planning engineer on the level 2. Like I'm saying that I am having one engineer for the foundation, I am having one engineer for the external work, and I am having one engineer for the internal work. So I can allow them to put the planning values on level 2, okay, but not above that point, okay, not on the level 1, or it can be instead of level 2, like I can say level 3 as well if we have the further hierarchy. So in that case, I can select this planning element. So it means that engineer can put their consolidated value on the level 2, but they cannot actually post the cost. This is how it works. Like this is all a part of project structuring planning, how you wanted to do the structuring and how you wanted to plan it and how it will impact for the other transactions. Hope it
So,
gives yes.
so the account assignment value minus the
Mhm.
planning value will be my profit or loss.
Sorry.
So whatever the cost will be in account assignment has been put,
Mhm.
and whatever I
Mhm.
have planned,
Mhm.
planning element, so that minus that will be my profit or loss.
See how profit and loss calculated. First thing.
Uh, no. See, I have planned 100 rupees in
Mhm.
foundation, and in
Mhm.
excavation my cost has been, in excavation the cost is 50 and in
Mhm.
installation is 30. So 20
Mhm.
rupees will be left. So that will be my
Yes.
profit, or that will be.
No, that is not your
So
profit.
logic is okay. So what is the logic then? The
See
20
that
rupees
you
has been left.
which you are talking about, that is your actual cost versus plan cost. Okay, that is not your profit
Oh,
and loss. Profit and loss we have on the customer project where we have the expenses and the revenues. Okay, here the example you took, it's a plan versus actual. If we have any variance,
okay,
right?
yeah. Plan versus actual. Sorry, yeah.
So all the PS reporting, okay, works in a graphical format. Okay, all the values is rolled up. Okay, so let's say on the foundation level you have, here just let me take example. So let's say here you put a plan cost of $100. Okay, and on the excavation you have actually posted a cost of $80. Okay, so if you look at the PS reporting, okay, so in PS reporting this is $80 will rolled up to the foundation as well. So here you can see $100 as a plan value, and also it will show you the $80 as an actual value. Okay, so this is the one of the feature of PS reporting. So majorly all the project reporting works in that way. So the values will roll up, then only we'll have the final figure on the this high level, right? That's how this thing work. So this will
One more
roll up
question.
and everything comes to the construction of house.
So the same hierarchy, where can we put the statistical element? Statistical indicator?
A statistical
same.
element, actually you can put on any of the WBS element. Okay, so statistical element is something have a different purpose. Okay, so first we need to understand what is statistical. Okay, statistical is like if we don't wanted to post any actual cost, okay, on that particular WBS element. So it means generally it use only for the cost project. So if we don't wanted to post our actual cost on this WBS element, then definitely it will go to some other head. In that case, you can say the cost center. So we have to provide the cost center.
So we can put at the lower level or at the top, second level or third level also. Any level we can
Any
put
level,
it.
like where you wanted to post the actual cost. If it is not account assignment element, okay, so then there is no use of statistical element. So first thing is the account assignment element. Then only you can use the statistical element.
Okay. So when you use account assessment, then only statistical element will come into picture.
Yes, because if it is not account assignment element, then you cannot post anything on it, right?
Yes, yes.
And where on the hierarchy the billing element will get ticked?
Again, it's like the same thing. Okay. Generally, billing element, if we see generally what we have seen, it is like mostly on the level, or you can say on the top level WBS element. If it is something like depend on the process, like if we are talking about the assembly order processing, okay, so here it is linked on the level 1 WBS element. Or if you're using the
So
RA,
total
there is
cost.
one feature of RA.
So the
If we're
total
doing the
amount will
manual,
cost.
sorry.
The total cost of the flat, suppose construction of the house, total cost we are 100 lakhs or something we are getting. So that is the billing, that is the revenue we are earning. So it has to come at the top level, right? Is it so? Suppose the
Yes.
cost of the
If we,
flat
if
is 100 lakhs,
mhm.
total selling price is what we get
See,
from
right now we are taking an example of in-house,
yes.
right? So this is an example of capex. Let's say, just take your example. Let's say we are saying that this is an example of selling. So we can create one
Yeah.
more WBS. Okay, we can say, okay, sale of house. Like when everything is completed, we can create a sale of house as a different WBS element. This is applicable only generally if you are doing the manual revenue. Okay, if it is something with sales order integration SD, okay, then generally it is the top level WBS element. So here what we are doing, you have selected the billing element, remove the account assignment element, okay, and then you can post the revenue on this particular WBS element, and everything will roll up to the top level. So where you can see the profit and loss. In this case, you will have the profit and loss because you have did the expenses and then you have some revenues, and then it will give you the profit and loss project basis.
Yeah. And suppose we have done all the WBS elements. In between, again we need to update, create one more WBS. So the sequence will be changing.
Yes, that you can try as an exercise. Okay, so from today's exercise, what you will do, create this hierarchy and try all this combination. First create a structure, try to put another WBS element and check how system will generate the number. Check if you can change the number, and one more thing you will do, this on project definition, we have this overview. Look at this feature, like how you can create hierarchy using this method. Okay, and there is one functionality which is entry tool, which I will explain later. First do it manually. Let's see, like you need to create a hierarchy. So how you do it using this overview functionality. Okay, so that you try, create at least 1 or 2 or 3, any number of project. Don't create any configuration of anything, just use the same data, same parameter which I have used. Okay, what I have used, I have used the number of P0001. So in the same sequence you can find the another open number, and the project profile you can use is the Z9001. or the investment project line item settle EU at the end my one, that you can use it. Okay, so if is there any error or anything will come in future, so I can resolve it. First, take a look only for the WBS element, how you can create it, how you can create the multiple WBS element, how the screen look like. So click on here and there. That's all you need to do from the today's exercise. Okay. Okay, so here if any other questions that we can discuss, else you can close the session, and we will take a look for the network first, like how to create a network. Like we'll see, like I'll analyze like whether we will check the networks or we will first understand all the functionalities of WBS first. Okay, so any other questions, clarification? If no, I can close the session. And please do the practice. Some more questions? Okay, then.
We are okay. I am
Okay,
okay.
fine then. Okay. Good night, everyone.